Good evening, everybody. My name is Ola Koni Oniduni. I welcome you to my channel today. I believe you had a great day. Um, Please, if this is your first time to this channel, kindly subscribe and also press that notification button, the bell, so that you can receive fresh episodes of every webinar from this channel. I'm sure you will receive good value for your time. Today, we will be sharing on the topic for this empowerment series titled Conflict Resolution and Management in the Workplace or in the Office Environment. Conflict resolution and management in the office environment or in the workplace. So join me as we take a good uh, time to do this together. We will take a good time to do this together. You're welcome. Okay, great. So I said, we will be looking at conflict resolution and management in the office environment or in the workplace. First of all, a little bit about me, my person, for those who are just joining us for the first time. My full name is Olakomi Amonidunbi. I'm the MD CEO, the lead consultant for OMP Consulting, a company I set up about 4 or 5 years ago. It's up to 2016, so that's about 4 or 5 years ago. All right. Um, these are my professional qualifications. I'm a fellow of the Strategic Management in Nigeria, fellow of the International Management Consultants. I'm a member of CIPM in Nigeria, Chartered Institute of Management, Personal Management in Nigeria, and a member of the Society of HR Managers in the United States. I'm a member of Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, and also I'm a registered advertising practitioner. Um, well, a little bit about my career. I was the Group HR chairman, Group HR director for Troika Holdings and Insight Communications for almost 15 years plus. I was also a personal consultant and compensation officer at the esteemed International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, TUI. I was also an operations and resource manager, in, at an international NGO called Global Youth Project. And I also had some a stint of about 6 or so years with the government as a senior information officer. Before then, also I was a personal manager in at a medium scale, a private concern. Okay, so I love public speaking. I'm a trainer. I'm a strategic HR consultant. I love mentoring. I love life coaching. Okay, I'm about finalizing my Doctor of Business Administration at Walden University, United States. Okay, I hold a master's degree personal, personal psychology from University of Ibadan and a BSc in geography from University of London. And also, I'm an alumni of the esteemed Lagos Business School and also Cranfield University, UK. Well, a lot of things, but also the beautiful thing is I have a new book. And if you want to get that new book, please just let me know. It's called Selling Skills You Incorporated. It's a wonderful book. That's my latest publication. So please, I'm an author also. So, gladly contact me if you want this book. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's hit the ground running on conflict resolution and management in the workplace or in the office environment. In the office environment, this is a pro bono webinar. But it's however costs the people presenting it a lot. So please get your pen, so get a paper, because there will be action points that can apply right away in your place of work, in your personal life. Some of these actions are not only constrained to the workplace. You can apply some of these action in your personal life, in your relationship, in your marriage, with your children, with your spouse, with everybody. Okay. So what are conflicts? What are conflicts? When you talk about conflicts, generally when you look at dictionary, you say conflicts refer to disagreements, refers to disputes, it refers to differences in opinions, it refers to clash of ideas, it refers to all these things that shows that you know harmony is being threatened, unity is being threatened. There's no one voice at that particular time, at that particular moment. No one voice at that particular moment. That's basically what people see conflict as. Okay, um, um, but you will agree with me that it's customary to life that you will not be in agreement with everyone 100% of time. Okay, you would have different points of view at different times. Okay, that's why unity is different from uniformity. Okay, unity presupposes that you are all focused towards the same goal, towards the same agenda. Okay, though you may be coming at that agenda from different perspectives. Okay, so if this unity, okay, it therefore presupposes that look, conflict is ingrained even within unity because of a different perspective, even though there is a commonality of where we're going. While when you say there's uniformity, everyone is almost like a bandwagon effect. Everyone it's like remote controlling of the thoughts. Everyone is thinking in one singular direction for whatever reason it may be. Okay, but that doesn't bring about healthy growth and sustainable competitive advantage over even your competition out there. Okay, so we are not talking therefore here, about uniformity. We are talking about unity. Okay, and unity presupposes you are focused on the same goal, but you can approach it from different perspective, different angle, different frame of reference, and all that. Okay, and it enriches the organization. It enriches the relationship. Okay, and that's why I said here that conflict, therefore, is a normal part of healthy relationships. Relationships that are based on uniformity are not healthy because it's almost like you are remote controlled. Is it because of fear? Is it because of you don't want to lose that partner? You don't want to lose that employment? So you are gagged. Your mouth is shut. Okay. So it also stifles creativity. It stifles initiative. It stifles ingenuity. Okay, that's what an environment where healthy relationship of being able to at least explain the point of view, even though it is not the mainstream point of view. Such an environment is not healthy. So an healthy environment will always have conflicts. Conflict from the perspective of differences of opinion, differences of ideas. Indeed, that was what enriches a team. Together, everyone achieves more because of this different perspective, because of the multiplicity of competencies brought to bear even on any project. Okay, so and I want to say here, okay, therefore, okay, that in the office place, you can learn to manage conflicts by learning skills that ensures that you keep your personal and professional relationships strong and growing towards attainment of your team or organization's goal. Okay, and the way to do this, we will look at it in total as we go on. But the way to do the up front, I will tell you, must be through respectful and positive, okay, opinions, no matter how they are different. Okay. This strengthens the bonds and achievements of the of the organization. This is very, very important. Here, don't forget I've said, conflict presupposes within itself that there will be richness even of the pool of resources because we are pitching at the same goal from different perspectives. This is what unity is all about. It's unity of purpose, even though there are divergence in terms of approaches to it. And we respect each other's, if it's two or one another, if it's many, in perspective of opinions. We respect these opinions because we know it will only enrich the resources towards achieving a qualitative and an esteemed achievement of our goals. Okay, so this is very, very important. And that's why, I noted here, what of conflict avoidance here for? Okay, so that we don't rock the boat, so that that relationship will be intact. What of conflict avoidance? I will say this: conflict avoidance presupposes compliance, and compliance does not allow you to give totality of your initiative, totality of your ingenuity and creativity. And so it stifles even the resources that should be available for exceptional performance, even at the workplace. So compliance is not what we are saying. Conflict avoidance is not the best strategy. We'll look at the strategies later. Okay. I said conflict avoidance, compliance, is not therefore healthy, because we are looking at healthy relationships. Okay. Conflict avoidance is not healthy and doesn't allow the organization to see and take benefit from the different point of view and the immense resources that resides in the various talents that make up the employees, that makes up the workforce in the workplace. Conflict avoidance or compliance therefore creates a blind side, a weak area, a myopia. That's what conflict avoidance does. It creates a myopia. It makes even the sight of the organization so small in terms of what they can see. That's what it does. That's what it does. Okay. So let me emphasize here, again, that inside of conflict is a positive angle. And that is the positive angle of divergence of views, multiplicities of ideas, even pitching in from different angles that enriches and strengthens the organization if it is well managed by the leaders and the managers and the team supervisors that you have. And that's why we look at the types of conflict. Let's look at the types of conflict. Conflict can range from trivials to strong emotional differences. Okay, when I talk about trivials, just difference of emotions, it doesn't matter, you quickly overlook, and you move on. I'm saying you can apply this in personal relationships. You can apply this also even when it comes to workplace, though we are focused on the workplace. So you can begin to look at this. What kinds of conflicts do you often have? Are they trivial? And don't forget, conflict in most cases, just like stress management. Okay, conflict is based on perception. Okay, you will not view a conflict as a strong emotional conflict if you have the right perception. And I will explain this. Conflicts that are hinges on strong emotions have their roots in the fact that some personal needs are unmet. Some personal needs are on the line that has been trifled with. And so there is a sense of threat. Okay, and that's why I said emotional conflicts, okay, are often need-based. Now, don't forget Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you have the lowest level of needs as your physiological or survival needs, and you have the highest level of needs as your self-actualization. Okay, you have the highest level of needs as your self-actualization. Okay, so where such needs, maybe it's the physiological need or survival needs, is threatened by divergent views or opinions, you will find that such conflict will border on strong emotions. I'm repeating, where conflicts are need-based, where vital needs, perceived needs to the individual are threatened, conflicts therefore will border on strong emotions. And such conflicts are very deep and very, very difficult to resolve unless you address the needs. And I've said, using Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there's a physiological or survival need, there's a safety or social need, there's a safety need, there's a social need, and there is the self-actualization need, okay, the legacy need, okay. So I'm saying here, whatever need, is real to the individual is very real indeed. So you must, as a leader, as a team lead, as an HOD in that organization or wherever you are, a supervisor, You must be able, even in every conflict, to decipher even needs that are on the plane, so that you will be able to address them adequately, so that everyone will be able to be focused again towards that common agenda, common goal. Don't forget, we have said conflict basically presupposes difference of opinions, divergent views. Okay, but we said, when I began that, okay, conflict has a positive angle to it, and that is why, embedded in unity, it presupposes that there is a singular focus towards where you are going, even though you may approach it from different points of view. That's why we differentiated unit from uniformity. Uniformity presupposes a gagging of the mind, a mind control, so to say, so that your opinions are shut up. In such organizations, you will not be able to harness the creativity and divergent resources, even that is represented by the various individuals in the organization. Okay, so conflict is good, is part of life, is part of living, is normal part of healthy relationship. I repeat, conflict is not a part of a healthy relationship. Where conflicts, therefore, that is difference of views and opinions, are not existing, or where they exist and they are not well managed, then it can lead even to dysfunctional relationship. Okay, in whatever sphere of life. So I'm repeating here. When conflict move from trivial to strong emotions, it's because it relates to the well-being of the individual. It relates to something that the individual considers as critical for his or her own survival. And that's why you must be able to explain what needs are being thrown up when this person is reacting this way. And I said, you must be aware of the needs of all parties in a conflict situation, whether they are employee or employers, whether they're in the management or in the middle management or in the lower level. Okay, this plays a vital role in the long-term relationships. If you want to ensure that you retain your employees for a long time, you maintain that relationship for a long time, there is no disengagement. A lot of leaders, HR experts will agree that there are some people who will not leave the organization, but they are already disengaged. It's all because conflicts were mismanaged. And strong need-based, we are trifled with and not well managed. And this is very important. So if you want that relationship not only to be long, not only sustainable, but to be very, very effective in growing the productivity of the organization, you must manage conflict effectively. Because inside of conflict, there is an advantage. There is a benefit in conflict. There is a benefit in conflict if you manage conflict very well. There is a benefit side to conflict. There's a benefit side to conflict if you manage it very well, because you'll be able to harness all the divergent views and divergent opinions of people, okay, and use them to advantage. This is very important. So I'm repeating, beware of the needs of all parties in a conflict, whether they are the employees or employer, whether they're in the middle management, top management, or even the general workforce, okay. It plays a vital role in long-term relationships, in productivity, in retention, in disengagement, and all that. You must understand that this is very, very important. Very important. Conflicts that are not attended to, okay, particularly where there are strong needs, perceived needs to the person as very, very important. For instance, some of your families may have some of your team members in the office, may have strong family affiliation needs. They place their family needs, very, very high. And, so the demands of how you use their time, do you allow them even to be able to have time for family time? Do you create even within the office space things that appeal to their value system? Maybe sometimes you allow even children, even on special days, to come to the office space and look at what their parents are doing. Or you have, family parties where they can bring their parties. This will make them even rank that kind of office organization very high, because you appeal to a need that ranks very high in their value system. This is very important. So you must be able to decipher as an HR strategist, as an HR professional, as a manager, even as a supervisor, as a CEO. You must be able to decipher, okay, in line with the values of your organization, the esteemed values of the individual people you are leading, because everyone comes to the workplace with their entire being. They don't only bring their hands, they also bring their heart and their mind, which encompasses their values, even the things they esteem as their needs. So you must be careful how you manage these needs. You must be careful how you manage these needs, okay? Right. So when these needs are unattended to, they lead to arguments. You just find that with this person, the body language of that person changes. Okay, things that he or she will normally do, with all his heart before, there's disengagement starts. Okay, disengagement is like you have a multiple gear of wheels. Okay, when one teeth or two is broken, you find that there will be friction. There will be it will be rolling very well, and movement and motion in that organization will be clogged. That's what exactly disengagement does. Okay, it leads to poor performance, leads to poor productivity. Okay, then it can lead to attrition, that is physically leaving that work of in place of work. And when vital talents leave, you are hemorrhaging and you are losing vital intellectual capital in that organization. Okay, you are losing years of culture in that organization. So when vital key players leaves the organization. Okay, such people may even have been very critical to major deals that are almost closed. Such deals may be lost. That's what you experience. Okay, so decreased productivity also, and lost jobs with your clients and all that may result because someone they trust, someone they like in the organization who interfaces within the organization and then had left the organization. So you must understand, you must manage conflict very well. Conflict management in the workplace is so critical. It's so important. So important. Okay, and so I don't forget, I've put a continuum on conflict as from trivia, which is the simplest of all conflicts, to the most important and most difficult of all conflicts, which is hinged on personal needs, which I call strong emotional conflicts. Okay. So disagreements about values, ideas, desires, perspectives, motivations, all these embodies what may engender, may cause conflicts, whether in your personal life, in your relationships, or in the workplace. Okay, this is very, very important. Let's dig in more on the issue of conflict. Let's dig in more. Okay. I'm emphasizing here, therefore, the trivias, which are just disagreements about maybe issues. No, I don't just see it from your angle and all that. No, conflicts are deeper and more than that. Conflicts are situations in which both parties perceive a threat, real or emerging, to themselves. And that is where you have strong emotions. Okay, so when you move from trivia, okay, you don't yet have conflict, but when it hinges on a perception of threat and there is fear, you have a major emotional based conflict. This kind of conflict can rock the boat and can destroy the organization if not well managed. Okay, and I also say conflicts fester when they are ignored. Again, I repeat, conflict grows stronger and they become more. Whether it is between even teammates, whether it's between the employees and the employer, and whether it's even in your own home environment, conflict fester when ignored. Because ignoring the person that feels a strong emotional need being trampled upon reinforces the wrong perception that you are disrespecting them, or you don't value even them enough, or the needs they have, that is, such needs are nothing to you. So this is very important, please. Conflict fester when ignored. The wrong perception that led to that conflict will be reinforced when such conflicts are ignored. When such conflicts are ignored. The next thing is that you must understand this. People respond to conflicts based on perception. Perception in branding is reality, particularly when it's repeated and reinforced. Again, perception becomes reality when it is repeated and reinforced. So I'm saying people will respond to conflict based on perception. If they understand that your divergent view is based not because you want to exert yourself as if you are the know-all and the be-all. If they know that it's just you are addressing the issue so that the organization may be better, people will warm on to you and wholeheartedly receive such divergent view. But if such divergent views are to satisfy even inside of you a low self-esteem need that people perceive you have always been showing for. You want just to be seen, to be known, to be heard. You want to have the last word at all times. People will not take such conflicting situations even very well. You must understand this. This is important. Understand this very well. Understand this very well. Okay. And likewise, I want to say that conflict triggers strong emotions. Don't forget, it was one of the great leaders that says emotion, okay, is from two words. E for energy, then motion for movement. So energy in motion or energy moving. Moving energy is released when conflicts are released. These energies, are really meant to build the organization and the workplace, to build your team. But if the energies are released and in a conflict situation, and these energies are released to face even one another within your team, you find that that is why such conflict disintegrates and destroys the team eventually, because conflict triggers emotions. So you must know as a manager, as a supervisor, how to manage the energy in motion towards a positive end of achieving even the group goal, the organizational goal, the company goal. So you must be able to identify what kind of energies are released, and you must be able to divert them towards a positive use. This is very important. Another thing I want to say is that conflict, because energy is freely in the atmosphere, and you have, you as an astute manager, astute MD, CEO, HR, personnel, okay, or director, you must be able to identify this energy, and you must be able to quickly make use of them, because it's, this is free energy already. So make use of this energy in the right direction. Conflict, therefore, is an opportunity to grow, to build trust, to build security, and to take new grounds of opportunity. Again, conflicting situations are opportunities to grow, to know one another, to build trust. Okay, because as conflicting situations come in, divergent views which were not expressed before are released. So you can now turn these divergent views into tapestry, fabrics for tapestries of unimaginable creativity that was not in existence in your organization before. Okay, conflicting situations, because it makes people also to be able to express fully what is in their mind. Okay, may therefore help you to build trust and security, because people now, can be very, very trusting that if I express my mind, okay, and I'm not shouted down, okay, it builds safety for them that I'm in a safe place, and it gives the organization or the team, the opportunity of taking new grounds of opportunity, because we will now be able to see things from different perspectives. The status quo, even arrangement, will be able to be improved upon because of that conflicting situation if it is well managed. The caveat again, if it is well managed, and that's where we're going. So I'm saying here, okay, on the last point on digging in on conflict, that if you see conflict as traumatizing, as making you feel out of control, as demoralizing and humiliating, then your response to conflict will be negative or avoidance. I'm saying again, your response to conflict will always be negative or that of avoidance if your perception of conflict is that it is always traumatizing. It makes you feel out of control, out of charge. It's demoralizing and humiliating to you. Your responses will naturally and every time, that conflicting situation shows up, will be negative or with that of avoidance. So I'm saying here, please, there is a need for a change of perspective, a change of paradigm, a change of mind. Conflict is not necessarily bad. Conflict is good because a lot of resources that are not available either to will be seen if you see it from the positive angle, and that is if you manage it well. And we'll look at conflict management as we move on. Okay, so conflicting situations where you have divergent views, difference of opinions, if you take it in good faith, will help you to see things from perspective that you don't see before. Don't forget, every one of us, okay, we have a blind spot. We don't know 100%. And if we can work well with team members within your office place, you will find that you will complement instead of competing with one another, okay, towards even achieving the common goal, because there's a shared value, okay, and because there's a shared value of achieving the common goal of the organization, regardless of the divergent view, you will find that it will work out for better competitive advantage even of your organization against even industry competition. This is very, very important. Very important. Okay, let me go on to some example of unhealthy responses to conflict in the workplace or in the office environment. Some unhealthy responses. I want you to examine whether you have displayed this kind of responses before. Okay, just laugh over it, but beyond laughing over it, just think about how better can I manage it. Someone says insight is always 2020. That is when you look at how you behaved, okay, in time past, you will find that you will be able to see it in a better perspective, even now, because you are a bit far from that situation now. So perspective gets better when you look far from that situation. Okay, that's a good thing. So consider how you responded. Let me mention some of these unhealthy responses to conflict in workplace. The first thing is the inability to recognize and to respond to things that matter to your boss, to your co-worker, to your peers, and even to those who are even your associates, your subordinates in the workplace. You must recognize, you must respond to things that matter to them. Okay, there is a need that everyone values most, even as we come to the workplace. When you respond, when you identify this and you respond to them, it helps them give their heart. Don't forget, a good HR director, manager, professional, a good manager, a good boss in the workplace, a good MD CEO must understand that even when you have people you've hired in an employment, you don't only hire their hands, okay, and you don't only hire their heads. Okay, there are 3 H to hire. You must hire their hearts. When you don't hire their hearts, when you are not appealing, when you are not resonating with their heart, is because the things that matter most to them, you are not recognizing or responding it. And so they may give you their hand and their head, but not their heart. These are the 3 H of recruitment, of effective recruitment. The head, the hands, and the heart. Okay, the hands is just work to rule. They just do everything based on the job description and let go. But when they begin to use initiative and begin to think outside the box, they are using their head. But beyond this, when they feel engaged, they become adorers and they become people who are advocates, even for the organization. Then their heart is engaged. That is, why, when the artist is engaged, you'll find people who are offered even higher remuneration to attract them away from your organization. They will say, I can't leave. I can't leave my boss. I can't leave my organization. It has been said even in HR circles and by professionals that people leave their boss, they don't leave their organization. So I'm saying here, you as a boss, you as a supervisor, you are so critical in this point I'm discussing. You must be able to recognize and respond to those things that matter most to your employees, to the people you are leading. If you want them to be engaged with their hearts, not only their hands and their head. Another unhealthy response to conflict in the workplace is when you have explosive, angry, hurtful words or hurtful mails. And the strategy to this is, please take the 10 count rule. How do I mean? I have some other videos on anger management, okay, and which I also gave to some organizations in time past, but also I do consulting or anger management. But I want to say here, okay, there's a 10-second rule in anger management. The thing is, before quickly responding to that mail that made you so annoyed, even that because it infringed on something that you value so much, take a 10-second to count from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you are counting, before you are responding, that verbal vituperation, that verbal explosive words even will be doused. Okay? Keep your mind on the fact that the workplace is to achieve a particular vision and purpose. Don't be offended by those negative even words that you don't like. Okay? So, but when you're explosive and you're angry and you're blotting out hurtful words, it's an unhealthy response to conflict. Because of what? Okay. So please take a minute before sending that mail. Even when you have crafted and couched that mail and all, take a walk around even and come back to it again. You can, when you come back to it again, you find that your anger will have simmered and you will be able to tone down even the tone. Okay, don't forget, communication is not only about the what, but the how. Okay, you may be communicating the right thing, but you may not be communicating it the right way. So be careful. Okay. Avoid explosive, angry, hurtful words and mails or resentful reactions. When you show this and you exhibit this, you are exhibiting unhealthy responses or what we call unhealthy reactions. Okay, to conflict in the workplace or in any relationship. Another unhealthy response is when you are presumptuous. You don't allow the other person to land. Okay, because you think fast than they are thinking. Because they are slow in thinking does not mean that they have foolish and stupid ideas. If you allow them, don't be presumptuous. Don't finish sentences for them. It is infringing on their own self-respect. Respect them, Okay. Likewise, okay, you must not be someone who does not give benefit of doubts for others to explain. You just conclude for them. Okay, if you are a person that prides yourself in not suffering fools or taking prisoners, okay, it's an unhealthy response. Please, do to others as you will be done by is the golden rule, okay, by the Creator and also in the workplace. Respect is reciprocal. Okay, likewise, another expression of an unhealthy response to conflict in the workplace is when you withdraw your love or your support from that subordinate, or you withdraw your support from your supervisor, all because you have a conflict. Understand this. Yes, you are working with the supervisor, but you are working for the organization. And whatever you are doing today will recommend you for the next job, even outside of the organization. You are not helping your boss by building yourself and giving your totality to the organization. You are helping yourself because you are building up a competency. One of the things you get from the job is not your money, is what you get in terms of who you become, even as you give your all to that job. Because that job, that office is not your terminal point. is just a milestone towards even your vision in life, towards your purpose in life, and towards your end point. Also, when people label and when they do shaming of the other, and there is fear of abandonment, these are unhealthy responses. Don't label people. Name calling, name shaming, or this is not good in the workplace. It affects that esteem need. Don't forget Maslow's theory. We said that self-esteem need is wounded, and because it's wounded, people cannot open up their trust, and they cannot open up the box of their energy and their resources even to be a blessing to the organization, to the team. Okay. One other expression of unhealthy self-response is when there is inability to compromise, inability to see from the other person's perspective. When you cannot see from the other person's perspective, it shows right there an unhealthy response. Okay. Likewise, when you have a feeling of being fearful, always avoiding conflict. Okay, and sometimes when you expect a bad outcome, okay, from even just speaking up, it is an unhealthy response, showing an unhealthy work environment. It doesn't engender creativity. It doesn't engender productivity. In such a place, you will only hire the hands of the people, even their head, because it's just what to rule. Just let me do as Oga said. Let me satisfy Oga. Their head will not be put into the work, and their heart definitely will not be put in the work. So you are hiring only 1/3 of that employee when there is a fearful environment, when there's an environment where people always avoid conflict, and there's an expectation of bad outcome if they should speak up, because they have a boss that is tyrannical. Likewise, therefore, such toxic cultures, unapproachable supervisors, a yes sir environment is an unhealthy response to conflict in the workplace. Please understand that. Understand that. Let me quickly just speak on some other strategies and approaches, okay, to conflict. You can either focus on conflict by resolving conflict or managing conflict. So we have conflict resolution and conflict management. But I would say conflict resolution is a reactive approach. As a strategist, I would say that this is not the best, because you only approach solving conflict when it has happened. Okay, so it's an aftermath. So what we recommend as strategists, HR strategists, leaders and business owners, what we recommend to SMEs and to multinationals and all that, whoever you are, listen to me. What we recommend in conflict situation is you must put in place a conflict management strategy. It presupposes the proactive approach and the reactive approach together. Okay, things written, things codified, things put in the culture of the environment of the workplace that ensures that there is a proactive approach to conflict. And whenever conflict therefore shows up, there's also a reactive in how we will mitigate, how we will manage it for the good of the organization. So conflict management should really be the focus of every organization. And if your organization is your home, your family, it should also become the management. Okay. If you are someone who always sweep matters under the rug and the carpet, there will come a time when the stench and the smell of the things you have swept in will be such that even you yourself, you cannot condone anymore, and explodes even that conflict situation. So this is the issue. Okay, please, in whatever approach, I've said the best is conflict management. Let's look at some conflict management essentials. One, manage stress quickly. When you identify that in everybody, if you have, you found out that people felt stressed up, their amber button is already pressed, going to red. The facial expression, don't forget, communication is not only about words, it's also about non-verbal, the body language. You must also be able to identify, a bad body language and quickly ask questions, and whether you have crossed the boundaries. Okay, so remain alert. Remain alert as a leader, as a team member. Also, adequately read and clarify. and as well interpret verbal and non-verbal communications. I've said that. Control your own emotions or behavior so as to appropriately communicate your needs without threatening, intimidating, or pushing others around roughly. Okay? So don't push others around roughly because you are the boss, because you are the leader. No. Respect begets respect. Don't forget, your goal even is to be able to achieve your team organizational goal. But there are things to do if you must achieve that. Because you can't achieve it all alone. You must be able to appeal not only to the hands, but to the head and to the hearts of your employees. Okay, there must be that connection that makes them to see that they're in an environment that respects and that supports them and that is loving. Okay, this is what employee engagement is all about. All right. So I said also pay attention to the feelings being expressed, whether they are words or whether they are body language. Please be aware of and respect differences. Be aware of differences of opinion, differences of perspective. Respect them. Okay. No contribution is stupid. No contribution is foolish. And let this be a rule in your organization. Okay. Whatever people say, okay, let have that your brainstorming board where people can put any idea. Then let us coalesce these ideas and see which ones best lead us towards where we are going. That's the way to respect people. Okay. So your brainstorming board may not be a physical one, but may just be in the way in which your organization allows people to speak up, allow people to contribute in terms of their opinion. On the ending note, I will say, okay, the strategy that I've put forward in terms of conflict management in the workplace, is that move from resolution to conflict management. Be proactive and reactive at the same time. Okay, as the case needs. Okay, so I will say this: you must be someone who is high in emotional intelligence. I have some other teachings and webinars on emotional intelligence, which you may want to check out. Okay, you must be high on emotional intelligence. You must be aware of your emotions. You must know when your own red button has been pressed, and so as to be able to know how to manage yourself. Self-management comes when you are aware of your own emotions. Okay, then you must also be aware of other people's emotion. You must be sensitive to when their body language changes or their voice tone changes, so as to be able to manage them well. So there are 4 aspects of emotional intelligence. Okay, your self-emotional awareness, self-management, awareness of others' emotions, and people management. And the second major aspect to managing conflict in the workplace or anywhere is effective communication. Okay, your communication must be clear, must be concise, must be with empathy, putting yourself in the shoes of that person you're communicating with. Okay, so that you will speak at their level and you will appeal to the emotions. Okay, you must also, in effective communication, seek feedback. Listen very well. Listen very well as you communicate. This helps. Okay, and incorporate your feedback into your responses. To feel coordinated. Okay, this is very, very important. You must be coordinated in speaking. Let me quickly just speak through other tips, before I entertain questions. Okay, you must listen to what is felt and what is said. There are 2 things. What is said may not be what is felt. Okay, so your how in communication is very important. You must make resolution the priority in any team conflict or disagreement, not winning or being right. If you are all about winning or being right, you will find out that the conflict will fester and there won't be agreement. You must focus on the present. Avoid historical historicals. In 2027, or rather in 2017, that was exactly what you did on a Thursday when we were on the field trip. No, avoid that. Please, when there is a conflict, focus on the present, on the issue, on the topic, not on the person. Okay? Focus on the present and focus on the person, on the issue, not on the person. Also, I say to people, please choose your battles. You don't have infinite energy. Choose which conflict you want to throw in all your energy into. Okay? Choose your battle. So while I don't recommend avoidance, okay, I'm saying also you must be wise to know which conflict to go into. Be willing to forgive, willing to let go, and be focused on the goal of the team and of the organization. It is good for your heart and it's good for your spirit. And know when to let go of something. Don't hang on. Look, your angst releases toxins, cortisols into your bloodstream. You know, pumping up your adrenaline and making your heart beat, and every contortion inside of you causes a problem for your heart. So please let go. It is for yourself. And learn to use humor. Laugh at yourself. And take even other people laughing at you. Learn to use humor. And please, in the workplace, if you are the HR person listening to me, please have a documented grievance resolution procedure so people know how they can channel their grievances. Okay, because sometimes grievance may move from person to person. It may not be resolved at that time, even though you tried to resolve it. So there must be clearly given grievance procedure that people can follow through and know that there will be fairness in handling their conflict situation and grievances. So I want to say thank you for listening to me. I don't know, in 5 minutes or so, if you have questions, please. If you have questions, I will open up the mics. If you have questions, please. Let's do the questions together. Let's do the questions together. Yes, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Oh, please, you can unmute yourself if you have. Okay, please go ahead. Or comments or.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Wow, thank you.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, my brother.
All right, good evening, everyone. And I must confess that it's actually a time.
Okay.
I've learned a lot during. I want to applaud you, sir, for the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
I want to quickly share an experience, and I still want to ask for your advice on this particular issue. There is a group I lead, which comprises of youth. So during the NSAS protests, they were agitating that we also should post something online. But I was looking at it from the instance of, okay, I lead the group actually, but I don't have the final say on whatever we push out, just like a unit of a particular organization.
Yes.
But just because of the need and the present thing at that time, so I didn't allow it to fly.
Okay.
So a lot, they were not supportive, and everything was not normal as usual. Right. So there is a slowdown in the activity. So I'm now asking,
so it will look as if the heart and the engagement of people were affected.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and although we've had a meeting, we've talked about it, but I still have this feeling within me that attitude or response that I gave to that.
Okay. All right.
So I really want to ask that, okay, how do I go about it to ensure that I reignite that fire in them and to keep the engagement as it was? That's my thing. So thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Let me just quickly say this. Okay, there will be situations where the constancy of engagement sometimes are in spikes, going up and down. You are like at the valley stage now. You want to spike it up. One of the ways you can spike it up strongly is still through communication. Number one, you must be humble, enough as a leader, okay, to explain to people that you observe this. And explain yourself why you took that decision, that it wasn't for you, but for the good of the larger group. Apologize if nerves have been frayed and all that. Apologize. Be a leader enough even to lead in resolving the conflict. Okay, this is very important. So, and 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 if particularly also you know some key people, okay, before that general meeting, you know key people who are key influencers within those teams, call them and personally and speak to them. They can also be your mouthpiece in resolving the issue when you come together, on the larger group. Okay, so and as I've said, two critical things in strategy of conflict management is one, your emotional intelligence, two, your communication. So it is a lesson to you that in future, okay, you must, as much as you communicate on where you are going, the how is important. And one strategy in communication is not what you say when you are all together. It's what you say even when you are not all together. I mean, there are some key influencers that you must have sold the opinion to. They will be your voice when you come to the front.
Sure.
Do you understand that? So identify those. It is called stakeholders analysis in public relations. You must identify amongst your stakeholders the critical ones. Always at all times settle matter behind the scene before you come to the scene. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So the resolution. So what you want to do now, what I've said is management. Now you want to focus on resolution now. I've said, number one, still look at those major key stakeholders, appeal to them and all that. Then come to the public forum later with them and all that, backing you up, apologize, because you felt this and all that. It's not how you have been moving before. Let them see why you did that and all that. Okay. And let them understand that you took that decision for their good.
All right, sir.
And you're welcome. I hope it helped you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. Okay, we are about running up this session. We have just 3 more minutes before we start even in another session. So I will want to say thank you for everyone that has been on this call. I will say thank you.